So Andrew, kind of fill in the gaps for me. Kind of, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Give that pitch you gave to that, your introduction you gave this morning to all of us in the group.
Yeah,
and fill
absolutely.
out any holes I missed with Day One.
Absolutely. So founder of Day One. Day One's a startup. We launched in 2020, the spring summer of 2020, which was the height of the pandemic. It was kind of the first peak when everyone was beginning to grapple with everything that was going on. People were sheltering in place, leaving the cities, losing their jobs. And then there was also this optimism. We have problems to solve. We're going to support our frontline workers, and it's time to build, right? There was some energy in and around the startup ecosystem, but really it started to permeate beyond that, because for a lot of folks, maybe you were now, lost your job and you're at home and you can't go work at the restaurant, you can't go work in construction. And so you're just going to get entrepreneurial, or you're working your remote work job and and now you have, complete free time because you have nothing to do. So you start something on the side. And this was 2020. That same mindset, that's not new. That wasn't new. That wasn't fresh in 2020. It just got one of these kind of COVID boosts of so many people coming out of the woodwork from all backgrounds, all sides of life. And that really hasn't abated, right? In 3 years. And so, yeah, Day One is a place for entrepreneurs to not just get their starts. Lots of entrepreneurs do come to Day One as they're in that early tire kicking, figuring it out phase to get the thing together, but really also to make that leap to really, it's the way we bill it is, it's a lot like, this is the metaphor I used on our kickoff today, like a CrossFit gym, where you can come as a complete noob, or you can come as a, like total fitness freak, and you can find your people and find your place and find the support, the tools, the machines, the support, the things that are necessary to go on the journey, as well as the coaches who can kick your butt, as well as the peers who can be encouragement. Basically, here's the last thing I'll say about Day One is that no one does anything really, really tough alone. Whether it's going through med school or, like winning the NBA playoffs. I'm watching those right now, just so you can date the podcast.
Go Celtics, even though it's butt kicked.
I don't think they're going to.
No, they're not playing well. They can't beat Jimmy Butler in the Heat.
No, it's playoff Jimmy time. But like just doing anything tough, whether it's sports or life or you need your people, and really you need someone coaching, guiding. This is why you have people helping to get into law school. This is why you have people. Anyway, every single circumstance, if you ever see just people doing inhuman things, and starting a business is borderline, extra human. It just takes a ton. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a place to have that tight-knit, bonded people group around you, and some people who are leading from the front, guiding, servant leadership, the whole thing. So that's what we've built with Day One. Let me give you 2 seconds on where I came from, or does it matter?
Please, yeah. Hey, man, I asked the question. You can answer it however you see fit.
Dude, that's what we've been doing for 3 years. If it's been 3 years, it's felt like longer than that. All things startup life. I have an appreciation as a founder who supports founders of what it's all like. And so I can empathize with all of your ups and your downs and everything in between. But before that, I was in venture capital. So I had a perspective on building a business from the VC and tech world in New York City. I was at this firm that was a venture studio, meaning we launched and built our own startups. Instead of investing in them, we built them and then invested in them. So a really cool, not unique, we weren't the only ones who did it, but a not as common model for venture capital. And I got to see hundreds of founders come through our door, and we'd pick the select few and we'd work with them, and I'd work with them for 3 or 6 months, and we'd build a startup. And if they got somewhere, they'd pitch and they'd get money and they'd go off to the races. And then I would do it again and again. And so we launched a dozen businesses over 2 or 3 years before launching Day One. And really, I'll use that to tee up like the premise for Day One. Again, like it was COVID. Everyone was doing this entrepreneurial thing. I was doing the entrepreneurial thing. I was leaving the job to go do the thing. I felt the need, that had that chip on my shoulder. And it was really about taking this motion, this expertise that I built up, and this, it was like a machine. We were a machine, like a factory building startups. I saw how the thing worked. And I said, why don't we help more people? why is this so selective? Why is this so insular? And then venture capital, for all its like coolness, is extremely insular. And we wanted to Robin Hood some of that goodness and apply it and make it available to more people. So 500 some odd founders have come through day one since 2020. And, we're just getting started.